Hello and welcome back to Paper Traders. This is our third episode. I am your co-host Eric, and I'm here with Danny Mack. And today we are going to finally pull the trigger on a stock at some point. So you might want to stay tuned. But for those who are tuning in and have any questions, comments, anything else, please go and check us out on Twitch, Ustream, YouTube, VK, Live EDU, Vaughn Live, CaveTube, Africa TV, YouNow, FC2 Live, Periscope, and Twitter. We are actually going and checking live comments, so if anybody has anything to say, feel free to kind of ping us here and say anything. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any comments below.
Yeah, just get involved, right? Like, we just want you to have some fun with this program. We're trying to kind of walk everybody through the process of getting started with the market. We're playing the newbies here, so we're choosing to do a stock today. We're gonna kind of hope to see if who's gonna be the big winner. I know me and Eric are kind of treating this a little bit like a competition to see who can do, I would say, better, but I don't know how he feels. I'm feeling a little
Well, that leads us to our mission statement. Why don't you lay out our mission statement here real quick?
A mission statement here is to basically have two average Joes who are going to take on the market, learning from the professionals we bring in here on a weekly basis, which is a great way to segue to Shiraz, who's going to be here on the show.
Wednesday.
Yep, Wednesday.
Talk earnings, and he's going to go and basically break down what he does here at Zacks and kind of give us a little bit more insight into earnings season, how to take advantage of that as a stock trader, which will be huge for us because we are two average Joes.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to kind of gain some knowledge and maybe even make an earnings play. Who knows? I'm not too sure. But I'm a little glad to be back in the office. I don't know about you, because it's been ridiculously hot around the East Coast. I think around the entire
Midwest.
Yeah,
it's
Midwest.
Brutal. 96 degrees is what I saw as a max. And that was just temperature on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a little intense. I don't know why the entire America decided to go into global warming status.
Global warming, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But today it's completely different. It's like 70 degrees. It actually has a bit of a nip in the air. So we're kind of adjusting and seeing where we're going to go next. But
it feels so good outside. This is like totally my temperature.
Right. And, I think this is a good part to kind of touch on some global news, just because I feel like as a investor, we're going to have to kind of stay up on what's going on in the market. And, so here we go.
So to go and get onto our global news topic here, right on Zacks.com, if you take a look here, we got earnings season intensifies, global week ahead. And that's the top story currently. So we figured it'd be a good idea to go and talk about what's going on here. There's our friend Maddie. So according to this article, some of the biggest companies are going to be, especially when you're talking about FANG companies, are going to be reporting. You got Facebook, Alphabet, Twitter, Intel, Amazon, UPS, Boeing, Caterpillar, AT&T, McDonald's, Starbucks, a whole bunch of companies.
I mean, it seems like almost everybody. You already had Netflix kick it off, which is a big thing, but it didn't do so hot in the news.
I feel like Netflix, there's a lot of controversy just about what they're going to do to compete against Disney specifically.
And they've kind of reached that plateau. So I think people are looking towards those international subscribers and to see if, they can actually make that jump into international waters and continue to grow their subscribers, because they kind of are reaching, like I said, that plateau here.
For sure.
Yeah, especially in America. I know they're trying to do a lot of international shows. For example, when I was doing kind of a search for movies, I have a hard time finding a good one. I saw a lot of Bollywood movies showing up, and I didn't know if that was recent or if it was just because I reached kind of the end of the road on all the good shows. No,
I feel like India is definitely their next big target, because I have noticed the same thing. They have a ton of Indian movies and TV shows now at the bottom, or your list, so to speak.
Yeah. So we'll see if I'll check it out. I don't know, but it definitely very evident that Netflix is trying to make a push. You also have, like he said, all the FANGs. So you got Facebook, Apple.
Let's talk about
Amazon.
these one at a time. And just kind of give our own little,
Oh yeah, no, totally.
one two hit here to kind of give our opinions on what's going to happen, and maybe somebody will go and chime in and tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah.
But
Facebook first. Then.
Yeah, Facebook first. I don't know. Facebook. I feel like they're in a lot of trouble lately.
Well, they report on Wednesday. They have a lot of, I would say, privacy issues that the government's starting to push down on them a lot with. So I know there is some, I would say, maybe subscriber growth and some issues in that department.
Well, they have that whole thing in Europe now where they're being sued for privacy. I think there's something like $1 billion at stake. I mean, it's pretty huge.
Yeah, I'm not too aware of that. I'm not too big on the social controversies with those. I'm not a huge Facebook user in the first place.
Neither am I anymore.
I tend to go towards Instagram, which it's in the same realm.
You're an Insta kid?
I'm an Insta kid, but I love it. Yeah, it's fun. It's simple. So that's kind of where my realm begins and ends with the social media.
Well, I mean, you're up on cryptocurrencies, so I mean, I'm sure you've heard some of the controversy with Facebook's crypto. That's
Libra, yeah. I don't know how well that's going to do. I think I saw something on Jim Cramer was basically saying, "Do not go,
don't do it."
Yeah, it's like a bad idea. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes for them. In my opinion, I think cryptocurrencies have kind of faded away. They're kind of
They had a spike in interest, and now it's back to kind of just normal interest where, not everybody's in it, but a few people that really know what's going on are in it, I feel.
right.
I feel like a year ago it was like, oh my God, crypto.
Yep.
Everybody was on Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up to like $4,000 a share or whatever their peak was. I mean, it was insanity.
Yeah, it got a little crazy once mom and dad started asking me at Thanksgiving
right.
kind of what should I do? Should
What's
I invest
crypto?
too? Yeah, what's crypto? And it got a little out of hand. I mean, it reached up to 20,000 or something like that. So it definitely got out of hand. And I think that the craze is obviously a little over. Who knows? It could make a resurgence. I don't 100% know, but I think the technology is elsewhere. Most people have kind of figured that out. Blockchain and all that good stuff, which a lot of companies are starting to implement. So we'll see. I mean,
and they've also gone and they've said that crypto, mining Bitcoin is like one of the most environmentally exhausting things that you can currently do right now because it just requires so much energy.
really?
Yeah, that was something. Maybe I can find the article here while we're talking, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like there was basically a huge article that had come out saying that going and mining crypto was a pretty big deal in terms of energy usage.
Well, I know they were taking all of the graphics cards and making them extremely expensive for me, who's a gamer, trying to get a graphics card in the last year was pretty
impossible.
Yeah, not just impossible; it was expensive. Their $600 graphics cards were going for $1,200 plus. So the market has definitely changed, but I think Facebook will wade through it. I think they'll learn how to navigate with all these privacy issues that they're having and with the governments regulating them. And they're not the only ones who are going through some regulation problems. I know Apple is kind of sitting in the same boat as them. So it seems like the FANG has taken a little bit of some headwinds kind of all around the board. I don't know.
So I did find the article, and this is the quickest search I could find. I'm sure that The Guardian isn't the most, we know The Guardian is not the most reliable source, but yeah, the headline here, energy cost of mining Bitcoin more than twice that of copper or gold. So, I mean, if this article is true, I mean, again, this is The Guardian, so I'm not going to actually put any real faith in it, but
Right.
I've seen the headlines before, and that's pretty energy exhaustive if you really think about how much energy it takes to actually mine gold or copper.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing, that it took too much energy to actually get the Bitcoin.
Well, like you were just talking about, if you have 6 computers all running with 2 graphics cards per machine at least, that's going to eat up a lot of energy.
That's very true. I mean, these are just small little details you don't really think about until they're on the top of people's minds and they're creating an issue, which seems like they're starting to write articles about it. So,
Right.
I mean, it's becoming top of mind for some people. I don't know.
It's getting pretty important, it looks like, nowadays.
Right. And then, again, we mentioned Alphabet. They're reporting on Thursday. But also who's reporting on Thursday, who is a little bit more exciting in my opinion, just because it's fun to watch them, is Amazon. They're looking to have some headwinds as well, though. At least that's what people are talking about.
I haven't seen any of the numbers from their Prime Day. Have you seen anything like that?
I have seen nothing. I actually don't
Usually-
shop Prime Day either. So
Oh, I don't shop Prime Day either, but usually you hear about, Amazon killing it with X amount of sales. And honestly, I can't think of a single article I've read. And Prime Day was what, the 15th and 16th?
yeah, it was just this past week.
So in a week, I haven't seen a single article saying that they killed it. But the one article I did see was that people that worked for Amazon were striking. So I guess that might potentially be a problem for them.
Striking.
Yeah, they were striking Prime Day.
Huh.
There were like a lot of problems with servers and whatnot, and people that weren't fulfilling orders. Yeah, it was kind of a big deal.
Well, I saw those trucks moving out in mass hordes over the week. So
Oh, I'm sure they killed it.
yeah,
I'm sure a bunch of people still bought stuff, but I haven't heard any real numbers to say that they like really outsold themselves even from last year. So
True.
that could be troublesome.
Well, they're looking. I mean, some people are worried about the increase in competition, like Walmart and all these other e-commerce stores, and not even just e-commerce. I mean, Lululemon, Nike, all of these companies are learning how to do the e-commerce in the correct way. So I think people are starting to see Amazon not be as big of a, I guess, scary monster to the retail industry.
I guess it depends on what the product is, because Amazon is just such a huge marketplace for everything. Like, for a good example, being a tall guy, and this is totally off topic, but it shows how great something like Amazon really is for the public. I'm a tall guy, as a kid, and never was able to really find shoes in my size, at least ones that I liked.
Right.
And ever since Amazon came out, I don't have to think about it. I go on, find the shoes I like, find the size I want, boom, shipped right to the house. I don't even have to leave anymore.
Okay, so you're an Amazon guy for life, pretty much.
For life.
All right. Well, I still shop on all the kind of mainstay stores. I'm still going to Nike.com. I'm still going to Adidas. I'm still going to H&M.
Which
all these
is
companies.
still a good thing, because I'm sure you get some sort of discount buying directly from them versus going to an Amazon. I'd imagine that those stores have more overhead and everything else they have to pay for, so the prices are going to be higher than buying direct.
Right. And who knows, I'm probably in the minority who shop like this. I have a Prime account. I have all that, but I use it for different things. Kind of like small little commodity stuff I need around the house, toilet paper, paper towels, like stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, I need it. I can do my little Amazon Alexa, buy it. It's at my door in 2 days. I'm not thinking about that stuff.
Right.
But when it comes to my shopping, when it's like clothes and shoes, I guess I still yet have to make that jump where I kind of can see where people are worried,
You were obviously not a very tall child.
No, I'm 6 foot. I'm very average. I think my shoe size is 10 and a half, 11 in between that. So, I mean,
right, yeah.
It's pretty simple for me.
Being a tall, skinny guy, buying T-shirts, pants, anything like that was always a stretch. So I always had to. It's a miracle to have something like Amazon where I can find the brands I like and just boom, right to the house.
Yep. And then the last for Fang, who's reporting, doesn't report until the 30th of July. So not this week. That is Apple. So you have to wait a little bit. It looks like about a week or so. Yep. They're going to kind of set the last and set tone for the market sentiment for the Fang. I think this week is going to really set it, though, pretty well going into Apple's earnings. So stay tuned to Thursday. That's going to be a big day for for Alphabet and Amazon. And then I think one other company I just wanted to touch on was Boeing. I know that they're reporting this week, and they've had a lot of troubles, as everybody's probably known and heard on the news about all their Max. Is it Boeing 737s?
737 Max, yeah.
Right. So they've all been grounded. A lot of people have canceled orders. I think the European Airbus manufacturing company is starting to, I guess, give them some push and maybe take over as the number one airplane manufacturer. So we'll see there. That's another one to look out for this week.
If I can just make a prediction, this is going to be Boeing.
Boeing? Probably, maybe. We'll see. It's not looking good in my opinion. But
losing orders, still planes grounded, training that isn't satisfactory yet. Yeah, seems like problems all around. Right. Don't forget, guys, we're still streaming live, so you can go and send us a comment through your viewing medium, whichever one it may be. I'm not going to go through the list of 12 names anymore. But to move things along here, because we want to keep these shows kind of short unless we have something really big going on, I think it's time to get into the Battleground.
Yeah.
So real quick, we are going to go and take a look at where our list is currently sitting at. And according, as we're loading up. Okay.
That was a good one. I mean, sometimes the internet takes a little bit, guys, so bear with us here.
So it actually looks better than I checked this morning, and everything was apparently down. But I guess since open, things have bounced back a little bit. We're not overly down, and actually a couple of those, especially the MJ, I could still see potentially getting in. I mean,
Nothing has moved too much. They're all
no.
pretty much in the same area. Again, you have to remember that earnings are coming up, so a lot of people tend to sit on the sidelines to probably see what's going to happen. At least I would assume. That's what it looks like because, again, these prices all have moved very relatively small.
Still ones
but
and twos, though.
but yeah, I mean, are you thinking that you're going to want to add anything here today?
Well, we said we
or-
were going to add something. So, I mean, I feel like we have to now. We said we were going to, you said especially you were going to do one on Wednesday, and you didn't.
I know. Well, put me on the spot. Well,
Hey, gotta call you out.
I
This is a
did the
battle.
research. I thought very confidently that this is the one that I was going to buy into, and then I saw the earnings for Under Armour, and I thought to myself, this is on the 25th. I don't want it to be my first stock and for it to kind of slip under me and get a bad earnings and me lose 10% off the top.
Yeah, you would have lost 20 cents right off the bat. So.
Right. So I'm being a little cautious. It's okay. You're allowed to be cautious on
That's
your
the whole
first
point of
stock.
this.
Right.
That's
We're
the whole
learning.
point.
We're learning. So
We're learning and we're trying to be cautious because you shouldn't just dive in on something without looking into it first.
right. Exactly.
And this information changes so quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly. I mean, literally from a stock that I looked at this morning that I might try to add today, it could have gone down, $10 or more because there was some sort of news that I missed since we've been sitting here for the last, 20 minutes. Like the information just moves so quick. So quick.
Very true. I was looking at a stock today. I'll just briefly mention it. Why not?
Well, you might as well go first. Why
Okay.
don't you do yours first and we'll get it moving here.
All right. Well, I was looking at a stock. It's called IIPR. Let me
IIPR.
IIPR. Yeah. Follow me along. We'll take a look here at the screen. Let it load up here.
Innovative Industrial Properties.
So it is a REIT. It is a Zacks rank number 2. As you see, it is down big time today, about 10%. I'm not too sure what's going on. I would have to take a little bit further dive, and as one of the reasons why I'm choosing not to add it today. I'm not 100% what's happening. I would personally like to do some research. I don't see anything on the news list here, so I'm not 100% sure. But I was very interested in it because you kind of brought up the, I'd say, growth play in marijuana and was kind of interesting to me because it's a huge growth industry. It's continuing to kind of expand, at least here in the United States. We're seeing, I feel like, state after state is legalizing it recreationally, not just medically. So it's becoming, I think, more...
It's a real thing now.
Yeah, it's a little bit more accepted. So these guys, what they do is that they buy real estate and then sell it to companies who are going to produce marijuana. So
growers.
Yeah, exactly. Growers, they're creating grow houses. They're, in my opinion, probably the only legal way to invest in the United States marijuana industry, just because the federal government can't touch any of these companies. It's not federally legal. Their money can't really be circulated through the banks, so it's a little bit tricky. So that's one reason why I saw it, but we'll keep that.
I'm looking at the chart. I mean, it's been around since 2017, and that's a pretty good-looking chart, man.
Yeah. So
I mean, even the price and consensus. I mean, from 2017, it looked like it went down, and this one went down a little bit, but then went flat here. And what was that? 2019, and it looks like they're 2020 and 2021. I mean. I would actually probably jump the gun on this one, just me. I mean, it's constantly on a tear up.
You think so, huh?
I probably would. I mean, this isn't my pick. If we add it to the list, I might actually consider adding it later.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to add it to our list, and then I was actually going to do my actual pick. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over here, and we're going to add it to our portfolio. So we're going to add it to the watch list. We're going to take a look at it later because, like Eric said, it's not looking terrible. It looks pretty good. It's just having a really bad down day. I don't think it's the time to buy and lose out on a few percent that I could possibly have upside. That is just how I'm feeling about it. But my real pick I'm going to go with today, it's one we've looked at before, and that is SQ Square. So...
Yeah, I'm laughing at you because you're bringing it back.
I'm bringing it back because after a while looking at it and kind of getting my own opinion on how the stock's doing and just the industry it's in, I'm feeling confident. You know, it's in electronic payments. It's moving into, again, international growth, which is a lot of these growth companies. They're looking for more and more customers. And the international growth for...
What type of play you're going to use this as? That's to interrupt, but
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the VGM store and VGM score and the style scores, and I mean F for value, B for growth, F for momentum, D for VGM.
Well, again,
what's your hope here?
My hope is a little bit of a growth play here. Again, they're moving into international waters. They're trying to expand. The international play is big for electronic payments. It's continuing to grow very fast, especially in India and in China. So I'm kind of hoping for a good play in that respect. And it's something that I kind of can get back into. It's software, it's internet, it's fintech. It's something I can kind of relate to because it's something I use on a daily basis when it becomes to PayPal and all those other stuff. So that's my pick. I think we should kind of go for...
You should make your portfolio. Add it, man.
Oh, you want me to add it here?
You got to add it.
All right, we're going to add it. So we're going to create a portfolio then. And this is going to be called Danny Mac's. No, we'll just call it Danny Mac. Keep it simple.
Can't keep it more simple than that.
Right. So there we go. We added it today. We're going to create a 10% allocation on that one. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think that it's a good starting point for a pick that could either A, give me some good growth and some good upside potential. I don't see too much risk on the table with it, so we'll see how it goes and go from there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one, though.
Well, congratulations, Danny, on keeping your word and actually adding something.
Hey, I told you I was going to do it, so.
Well, you did it. I'm going to take hopefully a quick look because we're running short on time here, but I wanted to look at Disney. And because over the weekend they had gone and announced like 30 different TV shows based in that Marvel universe, and I'm assuming that all that stuff is going to have to come out for their Disney Prime or whatever they're going to call that, Disney Plus or whatever their streaming service is. Whatever. Do you know what they're calling it?
Not 100% sure on that. We can look it up though.
Well, while I'm talking about it, if you could look it up, but
yeah.
I feel like with the announcement that is going to be a huge thing for them to push their content, and the Marvel universe is just so enormous yet that over the weekend on a re-release, what is it called? Endgame became the most grossing movie ever, beating out Avatar. James Cameron.
Oh yeah, the Avengers, or Avengers. I'm sorry. The Avengers. The average people.
The average guys
they're
taking on Thanos.
They're far more than average. Yeah, they're crushing it in the box offices. Marvel,
and it's on a re-release.
Disney, yeah, and then Disney also put out Lion King. So I mean,
and that one crushed over the weekend. I think I saw it was like $192 million opening.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's insane.
They just keep coming with the hits, and they're taking advantage of their fan base. I mean, let's face it, every movie that Disney, at least for children, they put out recently in theaters has been basically a rehash of an old cartoon they did.
Well, they're doing it in such good taste that they're appealing to both the older generation who saw them growing up as a kid and their kids. If they have kids or even the younger ones now, they're loving the movies. They're awesome.
Talk about an easier format, though. I mean, you don't have to buy any new rights. You don't have to come up with any new ideas. Let's just go and put some people in some green screen suits, add some tracking software, and boom, we've got walking animals.
I'm sure it costs a lot of money.
I'm sure
knows it's a multi-million. Maybe, I don't know. Does it reach the billions in process now with the animation?
I
and
doubt
stuff?
it. Because if it was billions, it probably wouldn't be profitable to make movies. But
very true.
Could you imagine trying to clear
That's
$1 billion?
Why I'm not making movies, right?
Yeah. But that's going to be a huge one. So I'm looking here at the pricing consensus chart, and everything looks pretty bad. But I think I'm going to potentially take a gamble on this one because
I think it's a good gamble. There's so much in the works.
There's just
with
so
Disney.
much coming.
And it is called Disney's Plus service. I'm sorry.
It is Disney's Plus, okay.
Disney Plus, yep. Kind of like the ESPN Plus. They're kind of sticking in the same realm.
Well, they own ESPN too, so go figure.
Yep.
But in the long term here, I think I'm going to hold this one. So I think that I'm going to add a share of this to my new portfolio.
All right, perfect.
So
we're making some headway today. I'm liking it.
It's an expensive stock, but I feel like the long term it's going to be worth it. So here we go. Here's me adding.
Well, it sounds like we're kind of
Disney.
buying what we know today. Again, I'm sticking with a little bit of fintech. It's something I'm familiar with, and I've again told you I use it all the time. And you are picking Disney, so it's something again I think everybody's a little bit familiar with, but it seems like you're feeling safe with the long-term outlook for this company.
I just feel like in a year, with everything that they announce, especially with the launch of Disney Plus, it's just going to be such a huge behemoth in that space because they own so much content,
Right.
You know, and then when they took on Star Wars and Marvel, I mean, there isn't a Marvel TV show or movie that doesn't come out that doesn't just gross serious cash.
Well, I think if you looked it up, they probably have these pre-planned for the next, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I mean, they are going to continue to pump these movies out. And
people are going to continue to pump their dollars into going and seeing them. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So, I think these are two good picks. I think these are two picks that a lot of people can relate to. So send in your questions, your comments. Send in what you think about. Yeah.
No comments, nothing. Nobody said.
Come on, guys. Come on, get in there. Let us know what you think about our two picks.
We must be doing that good. We must be doing that good that nobody has any questions or comments. Like, man, these guys are on top of it. They're really being thorough.
Hey, I'll take that. That makes me feel good. We'll see how they go over the next coming months, maybe years. Who knows how long we're going to hold these? It could be for a week for all we know. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, again, I'm feeling good. So, yeah.
We'll take it from here. Cut our losses if something happens, but I'm assuming that that's not going to happen because even all the stocks picks in our wish list have worked out.
Right.
But all right, folks, to try to keep things short, sweet, and to the point here, we're looking at the clock and we're almost at a half hour, which is the max amount of time we'd like to keep you. So if anybody has any other questions, comments, or anything else, please feel free to get in contact with us through your format. You can also email us, which is new, at papertraders@zacks.com. And please also like, subscribe, and continue to enjoy the show and join us. And hopefully you've learned something today.
Right.
So on behalf of me and Danny, thank you very much for joining us. Please be sure to check out Zacks Ultimate. That is a all-inclusive service that we offer here at Zacks that goes through all our trading services like. What do we have? We've got healthcare innovators, marijuana innovators. We've also got a value service. So lots of stuff to go through there. And we will hopefully see you guys on Wednesday with our guest, Shiraz Mian.
Yeah, don't forget, Wednesday, Shiraz Mian will be here. He's going to be answering all the good questions about earnings, what we should know, what we should look for, all the good little tidbits. So make sure
get your questions ready.
Yeah. Make sure you get the questions in. He'll be here to actually answer them live. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks.